Am I the asshole here for not letting my ex-husband and one of his future stepkids come inside? Our custody arrangement is for each of us to pick the kids up on our day during our 2-hour pickup window. He arrived at the house, and I already had the boys ready. I saw his car pull into the driveway on my camera, so the boys were already halfway to the door when my ex knocks. I open the door, and he's holding the hand of a 4-year-old. He asks to come in and says his fiance's son needs to use the bathroom. I told him I don't want him to come inside because I don't feel comfortable with him in my house. He has a history of snooping through my things. He asked me to take his future stepson to the bathroom, and I said I was uncomfortable with the situation. He said his stepson needed to pee. I suggested the McDonald's up the road, and he said my bathroom would be way cleaner than a McDonald's. At this point, my 11-year-old started pestering his dad to stop so they could leave. My ex said, "Your brother needs to use the bathroom." My son said, "I'll take him." My ex said, "No, your mother would rather he pee his pants. We'll go, and hopefully we'll get to the McDonald's in time." My ex and the boys left. He messaged me after saying that I was cruel to a child to punish him, and that's not okay. He said that I made us both look bad in front of our kids and should be embarrassed of my actions. I've been fighting with him for so long that my perspective is screwed up. Was I in the wrong? In the comments, not the asshole. He wanted to snoop. This was obvious after he rejected your son's offer to take the kid to the bathroom. Sneaky, isn't he? OP says, always has been. He's an intelligent man. Intelligent, but predictable. Nothing good can come of that. He's setting you up for a no-win situation. Think to yourself, nice try, and move on. I'm sorry for what you're dealing with. Okay, so I like to ask my husband these scenarios and get his 2 cents. He seems to think because you stated you've had multiple problems with the ex, that this was more about control. He wanted you to do what he said. Was the boy hurting and crying because he had to go? If not, my spouse thinks that it was a power play by your ex. If it were me, I would have asked my son to take him and told the ex to go wait in his car. But if this douche just likes to jerk you around, then not the asshole. I'm with your husband. I think the ex was using the 4-year-old to manipulate his way into violating OP's very necessary boundary. The only distress was the ex's when his ploy didn't work. OP says, he was holding my ex's hand and kind of looking around. He didn't say anything. Well, your son did actually offer to take the kid to the bathroom and your ex declined. Sounds like a power play to me. You can remind him that he's not welcome into your house unless it's life or limb, and he needs to organize himself properly before he arrives. If the kid needed to pee, the ex could have stopped prior to arriving at his ex's. He knows the relationship is strained. Good Lord, he has a 2-hour window. My ex and I, 6 p.m., the end. It's a little boy. He can basically pee anywhere. Point and shoot. Like, my 4-year-old had 3 side-of-the-road pee breaks today. We stopped for multiple bathroom breaks on the 3-hour drive, but of course, peeing off the road is cooler. Reminded me of my nephew. We caught him peeing on his dad's car tire, and when asked what he's doing, he replied that he's watering the car so that it could grow up to be a bus. Cool as a cucumber, 4-year-old. I love the creativity. That's so funny. But yeah, I don't think OP's the asshole for not letting her ex-husband in. It became obvious what he was up to as she started offering more alternate ways to go about this situation than letting him in the house. I love that he comes and lays it on thick afterwards by messaging her and saying, "You were cruel to a child to punish him. That's not okay. You're a messed up person. You made us both look bad in front of our kids. You should be embarrassed." Bro, holy overreaction, Batman. What is wrong with this guy? He is making a Mount Everest out of a molehill. Like, not even a mountain. He is digging deep to emotionally wound her over nothing. This is a man that is not over his ex. This is a man that is looking to continuously attack her any avenue that he can, any way possible. When he doesn't get his way, ooh, that's a man scorned right there. He's gonna get his pound of flesh one way or the other. And look, yeah, you've been fighting with him for so long, your perspective is screwed up. I get that. You've been fighting him for so long that you know when he's being a piece of shit, is what I'm picking up here. Your bullshit detector goes off every time he's in your vicinity. You're not in the wrong for that. He's done nothing but hurt you. And now, onto the update. I did talk to my lawyer about what happened. He said we can address it at the hearing that we already have scheduled about the movie situation. I thought that was that, but of course it was my turn to pick up the kids today. When I arrived at my ex's place, he opened the door very wide and invited me in. I was suspicious and said no thank you. He kept insisting I come in so we can show the kids we are civil, but I had a bad feeling. I said I would just wait in the car for the boys to come out. I got in my car and texted my older son that I was there. A short while later, he texted me back saying his dad said they couldn't leave unless I got them. I went back to the door and knocked again. Again, my ex invited me inside. I said I didn't want to come in, and that was when my boys showed up. My ex's fiancee was right behind them, telling them to come back upstairs. They ran to me, and we left. I don't know what his game is, but I'm not falling for it, whatever it is. In the comments, not the arsehole. He was way too insistent for you to come in and then refusing to let your kids leave? No. Always follow your gut, especially when the spider is so persistent in inviting the fly into the parlor. For real, something was definitely off with how pushy he was. Like, bro, it's not a horror movie. She's not walking in that house. OP, I truly cannot emphasize this more. Document like crazy. I don't know if this is going to turn into them yelling or scolding you for some made-up bullshit or something, but regardless, you need to let your lawyer know. Good luck, cause things with this psychopath are not going to get better soon. Plus, besides documenting, if she lives in a one-party consent state, she can record via her cell phone video or a GoPro their interactions to show in court what's happening, plus the recording can just be audio done in a similar fashion. There's no reason for him to come into her home, and for her safety, she shouldn't enter his. Personally, I'd say as he opened the door that I'm recording pickups from now on. Please explain why you refuse to let my children leave your house until I come inside. Can people just be normal? What is this stupid game that he is playing with the kids? It really just sounds like a setup to murder her or something like that. It's like, no, the kids are waiting for you upstairs, and we're not going ahead until you go upstairs in my house and I lock the door behind you. That just makes my skin crawl. That's just not a normal or okay thing to do, and this guy doesn't sound mentally sane. I'm gonna be completely honest, if I was in her shoes, I would be recording everything going forward, bringing it all to my lawyer and being like, if he's not gonna play ball, I'm gonna go for more custody of these kids. If I can't trust my own safety around him, I can't trust my kids' safety. He has had so many chances to be normal, and he refuses to be. So I'm not gonna play ball. Maybe I'm an asshole for doing that, but I don't care. My safety and my kids' safety is of utmost importance in a situation like this. Who the hell does he think he is, playing games like that? He's an asshole. Our next post is by user deadbeatdad264, and it's titled, "Am I the asshole for not caring about my wife getting STDs? I, 27 male, married my wife, 29 female, 4 years ago. We've been together for 8 years, and we have a son who is a toddler together. English isn't my native language. So around 6 or 7 months ago, I struggled with some mental and medical problems that made my libido go down to the point that we had a dead bedroom for 4 months. Around 2 months ago, my wife asked me to open up our marriage because she's frustrated and disappointed with our bed life. She also started acting cold around me before that. At that point, I was very stressed and anxious, so I easily agreed to save our marriage, and we had some agreement. So she seems to come back to normal, and I felt relieved. A week ago, she suddenly started to want to have sex with me again, and I rejected that because I was still trying to improve my mental health. She broke down, and we had an argument, in which she left the house to stay with her sister. In the comments, Ambroisi says, "I'm sorry, OP, but there are so many red flags, and none of those are coming from you. 1. While you have mental and medical problems and try to deal with them, your wife decides to open your marriage and go sleep around, instead of helping you get better and work on your marriage. Her sexual frustration is more important to her than your own health. That should have been your first and last cue that she is an awful person. 2. Your wife asks you to have sex, but your mental health hasn't been improving and you deny it. Within good reason, in my opinion. She lashes out at you and leaves you and the kids. 3. She doesn't call any of you for 2 days. I mean, your frickin' son doesn't understand where his mum is, and she just doesn't care at all. 4. She found out that she had an STD and is probably the real reason she left to her sister's house. To me, this is the apogee of disrespect. Not only did she probably not take enough protections, and clearly didn't care, while sleeping with other men, but she tried to have sex with you knowing there was a possibility she had an STD? And 5, you're here trying to figure out if you're an asshole for not being concerned about something that you didn't know anything about. Seriously? OP, you need to open your eyes. Not just your marriage. Not the asshole. I wouldn't put it past her trying to give it to him and running away when that didn't work. Her acting like normal was an act. I thought the same. I even thought of the possibility of her knowing fully that she had an STD while trying to have sex with OP so she could accuse him of passing it to her afterwards, exactly like her sister did. Something is clearly wrong either way. Basically the worst scenario for an open relationship there is. Cut it off, homie. I'm hoping you mean cut off the relationship, not his member. Both. Sorry, dog. No, you're so beautiful, King. Don't cut it off. I don't know where the comments are getting all this extra information from. I think OP probably commented a bunch and I just didn't see them. In that sentence, exactly like her sister did, I'm guessing the sister accused OP of giving her the STD. That's not specifically and definitely stated within the post, but to me it sounds like OP's wife went to her and spun a ridiculous story, and now it's a he said, she said situation in which there is no winning for OP, whose mental and physical health is already in the dumps. On top of all of the bullshit that she pulled before this is even more evidence to how bad of a person she is. I don't see this ending well. I see this ending in divorce and lots of hurt feelings and the child being caught in the middle of this. This is a terrible situation, and no matter what, OP is not the arsehole here. His wife is an enormous arsehole, in my opinion. And now, onto the update, titled, My wife just admitted to cheating on me and getting gonorrhea. Am I the arsehole if I wanted to leave? To sum up, 6 months ago, I had some mental and medical problems that prevented me from having sex with her. She convinced me to get into an open marriage, and she had it for 2 months, until 2 weeks ago when she suddenly wanted to be intimate again, and when I refused, she got angry and left. I couldn't connect with her for a whole week until her sister called, accusing me of having an affair and giving her STDs. I immediately went to the doctor, and it was confirmed that I didn't have it. I tried to contact her sister again, but I was blocked by all her family. 2 days ago, she drove home for the first time to visit our son, whom she had abandoned with me for more than a week. We sat down and talked. She admitted that she had known this person for 3 weeks before I agreed to open the relationship. I asked about the STDs that her sister had told me about, and her face turned pale. I had to urge her a few times until she admitted that she has gonorrhea and that the other partner had lied to her about his medical condition and protection methods, and he already cut off contact with her. I asked her if she knew and that she wanted to infect me that day. She was silent for a few minutes until she burst into tears and begged me to forgive her and that it was just a foolish thought in a panic and fear. I lost my temper and yelled at her and kicked her out of the house. I said we're done. I'm feeling so many emotions. Heartbreak, anger. I don't know what I feel anymore, but it is so painful. I was with her for 8 years, and I thought we would be together forever. My in-laws and our mutual friends all sent me a bunch of messages telling me to forgive her and that she knew she was wrong and had already gotten the karma that she deserved. I should think about my son and how difficult it would be if I wanted to get custody of him. And they were right. I no longer had contact with relatives or anyone I could rely on, so I feel very hopeless. What should I do? Can I forgive her after all of this to start again? In the comments, Yoroichi Tao says, in my opinion, no. Don't take her back. She tried to intentionally infect you as well, and probably lied to people about why she left, and the fact that your in-laws blocked you during that time, but then unblocked you to say to stay with her, is terrible. They weren't thinking about you or the baby, they were thinking about her and how she can save her marriage. Time to get a lawyer. This isn't something you can come back from. My guess, she tried to infect him so when he found out, she could claim he's the one that gave it to her. That's what I think too. Didn't her family already yell at him for giving her STDs? Which means she told her family she got it from him, or at least didn't correct their assumption. Because she didn't want to admit that she was an idiot who didn't use proper caution and boned some guy that she barely knew and obviously couldn't trust. She got and didn't want to have to own up to it. OP says, her sister did text me with an apology, but that's it. The others just text me something like, I know you're very hurt right now, but your son needs his mum, and she is very remorseful. Please give her a chance to make it right. I didn't answer any of those texts. It made me feel anger every time I looked at them. And now, onto the latest update. So first of all, thank you to anyone who gave me good advice and kind words. I really appreciate all the support. Me and my wife are separating now. I'm currently hiring a part-time nanny to take care of my son while I'm at work, even though I already cut back my work hours. I did find a lawyer to advise me about the divorce procedure, what I would lose after the divorce, etc. He also said that I needed to collect more evidence that my wife really wanted to infect me though. I think it's quite hard because she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. The charges we made, such as abandonment or adultery, seem like they won't work either. My wife is starting to visit our son 4 times a week now. She now acts like a good mother and begs me to do couples therapy. Her treatment is complete. She said that she had closed the marriage from her side and willingly set the postnup how I want if I give her the chance. Her family is still texting about how her days are miserable without me and our child. I kind of ignore them. I'd not blocked them in case of things breaking down, and I still have a record. This is my update. I'm still getting used to the lifestyle of just me and my child. I have agreed to marriage counseling with her this Saturday, though I don't think it'll change anything. In the comments, Mia Bank Guy says, quote, her family is still texting about how her days are miserable without me and our child. Screw those in-laws. When sister-in-law thought he cheated, she treated him like shit, but now their precious sister or daughter got exposed, he must forgive and take her back. Nah, to hell with them. For me, the biggest problem was that she didn't support him when he had mental health issues. I'd say purposefully trying to infect him with gonorrhea was a bit worse than ignoring his mental health struggles. I'll take apathy over intentional STD infection any day. She emotionally cheated, then forced OP to open the marriage, broke the rules, went raw, got infected, tried to pass it on to OP to blame him, and when it didn't work, manipulated the narrative to her family anyway. Like, wow, how could anyone even do this to someone they made a vow with? I'd have felt immense guilt doing this even to my worst enemy. At this point, I don't put anything past her. To the point, even though I didn't see it mentioned, I'd be wondering if that was even my kid. There isn't a lot of daylight between knowingly infecting your partner with an STI and knowingly trying to pass off the product of prior infidelity. She was calculated from the beginning to the end here. I wouldn't believe a word she said. At this point, if she told me it was raining, I'd have to stick my hand out the window to make sure. To intentionally infect someone with an STD to make yourself look better is some heinous shit. Oh, absolutely. She deserves to be plunged into the depths of hell for that one. That is absolutely nasty motion on her end. And it's insane to see just how one-sided everything is on the in-laws' side. She does the most evil, heinous shit imaginable, and all of a sudden it's, oh, can you just get over it already? It's really not that big of a deal. But she makes one unfounded accusation, suddenly everyone blocks him, everyone takes her side, and says, you need to honestly deal with yourself, OP. You're worse than pond scum. With family like that, who needs enemies, guys? You got your own homegrown hater base right there with a click of a button. Honestly, I'm so glad that OP is getting a divorce, getting all his ducks in a row, and getting the hell out of there. I really hope that the future looks bright for him, and I hope his ex gets the future that she deserves, because she's definitely earned it. Our next post is by user JasidNadigidiWishNadigidish, titled, Friend female 25, who once rejected me, male 25, now says she likes me, now that I have money. 3 years ago in university, I told one of my best friends that I was in love with her. After pouring my heart out, she told me that she likes tall guys. Being told that I wasn't tall enough hurt quite a lot, but she wasn't trying to be mean, just frank. 18 months ago, I started a company that expanded very quickly, and now I have over 30 employees. Obviously, being the owner of a company this size, I now have a lot more money. Anyway, over the years, we've stayed good friends. On Wednesday, 3 days ago, she told me that she still has feelings for me and wants to be together. She kissed me. We have a lot of history, and I do still love her. I told her that I would have to think about it. I know that it's easy to assume that she just wants to use me, but is it possible that she now has real feelings for me? Can power make a man more attractive? I'm still the same person as before. I haven't changed at all. Part of me suspects she wants my money, but at the same time, I love her so much, and we've been close friends for a long time. It's just the worst timing ever because the money makes me question her motives. In the comments, Young Jolly says, go out with her and split everything 50-50. See what happens. And OP says, I would feel so weird doing that. I've always paid, at least the first date, so it'd be especially weird now that I have plenty of money. Plus, she's been having money problems. Oh, did those money problems start when she realized you have money? Interesting. Deleted says, there could be a huge change in someone from 22 to 25. I can't tell if she's a gold digger or not. Did you ask her what's changed? Why is she interested now? Has she ever appeared shallow? What do you like about her? OP says, no, I didn't ask her if anything has changed. From my end, everything is exactly the same. She dated a very rich guy a while back, and she likes nice things, but not too different from anyone else. What do I like about her? Well, where do I start? She's beautiful and smart. We can talk about anything. She makes life bearable. We have the same sense of humor. Everything, really. Escarole Soup says, from what you've said in your comments, i.e. she hasn't had a good job since she graduated, you always pay when you guys hang out. I wouldn't be surprised if your money is what she's most attracted to. I don't mean I think she's sitting in a darkened room plotting to take your money and laughing maniacally to herself, but it seems like she's now in a stage of her life where she realizes she doesn't have the means to support the lifestyle that she wants herself. You already pay for your outings, so you're the perfect candidate. I would have major difficulty trusting the relationship, and the most important question I would ask is, will she have a good income herself? If she will be financially successful without you, then maybe she now sees you in a different light, and yeah, I could trust her. But if she is or was a theater major working at Chili's, expecting to rely on you for financial support, then I would move on. Out of curiosity, what type of business is it? OP says, she majored in psychology, but doesn't want to go back to school to study, and hasn't really had a decent job since she graduated. She wanted to be a psychologist, but I don't think she has any idea now. That's one of the major reasons I question her. It's a software company. What other type of business actually turns a profit these days? Sincerely says, you wrote here that you've lent her $3,500 these past few months. That's a crazy amount to borrow from a friend. I'm a hopeless romantic and want to see the best, but the fact that you've just been friends for years, she told you she wasn't interested in you before, and now that you've lent her $3,500, she wants you, I think it's clear what her motives are. OP says, it was $2,000 last year and $1,500  2 months ago, $3,500 all up, but she hasn't paid any of it back yet. The $2K, I just told her not to worry about. She's just sort of gotten back on her feet after struggling the previous 2 months. My take on this one? I don't know, it's like watching a house fire from a distance and knowing, like, there's not really much you can do about this because the house fire's already made its mind up, and 2 plus 2 is 5. And in the past, 2 plus 2 was 4, but now that new information has come into play, it's actually 5, and you guys just don't understand maths like I do. Or, sorry, the burning house fire does. My mistake. I was not the one to write this story. I think OP's the kind of guy to believe that strippers are actually really in love with him, and that the strippers actually see something different in him than everyone else that comes to the club and pays for their services. He's just built different. If he was in the Titan submersible when it imploded and it was on the bottom of the ocean floor for a week, he would have been like the 0.1% that escapes somehow, some way, and makes it back up to the surface and miraculously survives. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from this guy. So I can't wait to see this crash and burn personally. And now, onto the update. Well, since she told me she didn't want me many years ago, it's not like I've been lusting after her, but the feelings were still there. I know that everyone told me that it was a bad idea, but I had to try. I took everyone's advice and made sure that I didn't pay for anything that was extravagant or over the top. Anyway, last week we went on 2 dates. We did the whole dinner and a movie thing, and we also went to the museum. Earlier this week we went to a play, which sucked, got some food, after which we had sex, which has been a long time coming, that's what he said. All was good. Great, actually. Yesterday I went over to her house to bring her lunch. I knew she was home. I picked up some Chinese food and drove to her apartment. I have the spare key to her place, so I opened the door and went in, and see her fucking some guy on the couch. Couch, oh no. We made eye contact, and then I just walked out. She called me like an hour later and told me that we weren't exclusive, and that if I didn't want her to be with other guys, then that's fine, but I needed to tell her in advance. I told her to get fucked. I don't have time for bullshit like that. So that was fun. In the comments, Hanasuki says, "Honestly, OP, if you didn't try this, you probably would be thinking, what if, and regret not trying. I know it hurts, but now you know for sure." OP says, "Yeah, I know. It just sucks because I thought we were in a really good place." The Fireflies says, "Here's the thing. If you hadn't had the 'we're exclusive' conversation, her sleeping with or dating other people is fair game. That tends to be how things work. That being said, since she was the one who expressed interest in you, I think you made the right call. If she was really invested in making this work, and it wasn't about the money, she wouldn't have been so keen on fucking another guy. If she really wanted you, and since you've been friends for years, didn't need to do the whole getting to know you thing, she would have acted like it." OP replies, "If she was really invested in making this work, and it wasn't about the money, then she wouldn't have been so keen on fucking another guy." Why did OP just repeat what they said? What's going on? She Sins says, "I personally have never done this, but I've had it done to me. Did you guys have a conversation about where you wanted it to go?" And OP says, "Not specifically, but when she told me that she had feelings for me, she said, 'I want us to be together.' I thought that was pretty self-explanatory." So, if you weren't exclusive or serious, then why did you have a key to her place? OP says, "It's not like she had a key cut specifically for me. She gave me the spare key to her place ages ago. I don't know why the idea of giving your spare key to a friend in case you get locked out is so foreign to everyone. Yeah, I took it home and I ate it all. It was pretty good, but I ate way too much." Spectrum says, "Dude, having a spare key that you can use in case your friend gets locked out is fine. Inviting yourself over without so much as a call or a text, and letting yourself in with said spare key without ringing the doorbell? Come on, that's live-in boyfriend territory, and you're only a few dates in. I'm not saying that you should have dated the girl in the first place, but yeah, you were clearly way farther into this relationship than you had any rational encouragement to be." I think it depends on the level of friendship. I have a friend who has an open door policy. If he's home, you're welcome to just walk right in. We have no idea how often he used this spare key when visiting her, but I would guess often since he doesn't think it's weird. OP says, "That's pretty much it. When I came over, as a friend, I never had to tell her. I would just come over. I've certainly never walked in on her with another guy before. Generally, if I knew she was seeing someone, I would give her space and not come over." Sudden Real says, "OP, she didn't like me when I didn't have money, but now that I have money, she likes me, but I don't know if she's a gold digger. She dated a very rich guy a while back." Come on, man, that's your answer right there. Why are we still talking about this? As for the update, people are actually pulling up the whole, "Oh, you didn't have that talk yet" bullshit. Call me old-fashioned, but if you want a relationship, you need to put in some effort, and that includes not fucking other people. Right? I'm from Middle Europe where dating means exclusive, if not specified different, for example, open relationship. From the very first date, if successful. This exclusive talk is so crazy to me. I know it's a sign of the times of modern dating, but to me, if you're dating, it's assumed that it's exclusive. And there were so many warning signs with this woman, and everyone yelled at OP not to get involved with her, that it's hard not to feel like I'm victim blaming here, but I'm not gonna do that, OP. You deserve better. Like you deserved a better woman than this one that you decided to date. I think the fact that you've never walked in on her having sex with someone before, and now you have walked in on her when you're at a point where you feel like you are genuinely dating this woman, that is a betrayal from her end. She did not view the relationship the same way that you did. I'm of the opinion that the exclusivity goes without saying, and she did not see you guys as exclusive. She did not care. She's still trying to mend the bridge and be like, okay, we can be exclusive from this point forward. It just all seems like bullshit. It's like, why would you want to be with this person? They didn't respect you. They didn't respect the relationship for what it was. Now they're trying to take you for even more of a ride. I know that there's no more updates or anything else from this point, but if it were me in this situation, I'd just do what OP did. Tell her to get fucked. I don't have time for this bullshit. I'll see you later. Have a good time without me, with your mate on the couch. King shit, OP. Wear that crown proudly now that you hopefully have some more respect for yourself, because you certainly showed us you now have a spine. Good job. Thank you for the story. Thank you for the update. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to end today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.